All right. Show me the money.
Yeah.
When I first got elected and I spoke with Supervisor Wareheim, I told him how much I love the town of Smithtown. That's what he told me back was, Nick, show me the money. And we're here today to present $1.384 million to the town of Smithtown. That will go to very much needed projects here in the town. For some, the issues before the government are quite big and strategic and important. We're dealing with issues on the border, on inflation, things that are international that the Congress ought to focus its attention on. But what we can all agree on is preserving the quality of life and the affordability in great towns like the town of Smithtown. The town of Smithtown is blessed to have so many leaders represented at different various levels of government. I mentioned one in the supervisor. At the county, we have Rob Trotta. At the state, we have Mike Fitzpatrick and Mario Matera, and other state and town officials pitching in to ensure that this quality of life that Smithtown residents are able to enjoy is preserved for generations to come. We have to make proper investments into our community to ensure it remains an affordable, beautiful place to be and to live and to work. Too many of our families are leaving Long Island for other pastures down south, the Carolinas, Florida, even Texas nowadays, because they feel that there is better opportunity there. But we want them to stay here. And we have to do things at different various levels of government to keep our people here, to ensure Long Island remains an awesome place for us all to be. But Senator Matera got $900,000 swimming upstream in Albany. It's tough for somebody in the minority to be able to bring home money to ensure that our constituents can live and thrive here. Mike Fitzpatrick recently got $200,000 to ensure that our quality of life here in Smithtown is preserved. I'm helping to pitch in here today, too, to ensure Smithtown remains an awesome place in Suffolk County, on Long Island, in New York State for so many of us. These folks working beside and behind me are doing it every day to ensure that our constituents have a fair shot at all levels of government to ensure they have a great quality of life. Proud to stand with them here today. I want to get into a little specifics about the $1.384 million that we helped bring, a result of a 2023 appropriations bill that helps us bring $1 million for Main Street Smithtown stormwater infrastructure, things that will help preserve our quality of life and our environment at the same time here. It's important that we invest and to ensure that our infrastructure is proper to ensure a high quality of our water systems here. And this will address flooding issues and enhance safety for everyone. A mere $384,000 for the second project, the Kings Park Long Island Railroad Business District Stormwater Project, which will provide critical improvements for protecting local business and residents. This is all part of a collaborative effort by your public officials to ensure that Smithtown continues to move forward. I want to bring up my good friend, fellow Navy veteran, Smithtown Supervisor Ed Wareheim, to say a few words.
Woo!
Thanks.
Good afternoon, and thank you, Congressman. So the Congressman explained bringing this money back into his district right here in the town of Smithtown, why it's so important. This parking lot back here is the parking lot that services all of these businesses on these 3 blocks along here. It's very limited parking out on Main Street, so the people that frequent these businesses have to have a place to park, and this is the lot. So this infrastructure is going to be very beneficial to those businesses. There are a couple of businesses located here, unfortunately, that when we get a 2 to 3 inch rainstorm, their basements flood. That's going to be rectified with the money that the Congressman brought here. There's also an environmental value to this. These drainage structures under this parking lot are antiquated. They're 30, 35 years old. New drainage structures will drain the water so it will not run have road runoff run onto Main Street and ultimately into our estuaries right here, because the Nessequag River is in very close proximity. So this is a huge benefit. I want to thank the Congressman. I will tell you, I believe you're the first freshman congressman that brought money back to Smithtown in about 20 years. So I want to personally thank you. And I want to make sure everybody here knows, you make a phone call or I make a phone call to Congressman LaLota, he picks up the phone. And that's very important because that doesn't always happen. We had very brief conversations about funding that we need, because I've said it, you've heard me say it before. Local government cannot afford to do these massive projects. We need help from higher levels of government. And you have all of our government officials here from the state, from the county. They all pitch in. And right now, because of their assistance in Smithtown, we are approaching $120 million worth of capital improvements since 2018, and that is a monumental feat. We're in the process of sewering all 3 business districts, which have train stations in them. St. James is almost complete. Kings Park is underway, and County Executive Romaine has dedicated $101 million in his 25 to 27 capital budget to sewer Main Street, Smithtown. This is a game changer for Smithtown, and as the Congressman said, it's all about quality of life. So personally, on behalf of the town board, Congressman, I want to thank you for starting to bring that money home. I know there's more there, and as he said before, when I said show me the money, Congressman LaLota came to Smithtown and showed us the money. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Supervisor. Appreciate it. What an awesome leader, what an awesome advocate for the town of Smithtown. Already he's asking for the next check. We haven't even finished the first check, but that's what he should be doing, and my office will continue to be there for him. As is Senator Mario Matera, who represents all of Smithtown, ensuring that he fights for our values in Albany. It's tough up there. Sometimes the folks in Albany don't share our same values that we have here on Long Island, but every day he's fighting for our values, and despite being in a minority, he's bringing home a lot of bacon here too, to the town of Smithtown. My good friend, who I've seen probably every day for the last 7 or so days, Senator Mario Matera.
Let's give a round of applause to our great Congressman, Nick LaLota. Please, seriously, this man, I said to him, I go, we might as well start driving together because we've been at so many press conferences, and that just shows that he cares. That shows what kind of job that he's doing. You know, to sit there and try to, get money and for the right reasons, this man, our congressman, cares about our environment. And it's so, so important. Somebody that sits the ranker on energy, so important to me. But this one thing about Nick LaLota, he cares. He made sure he brought back, and I'm going to say $1.4 million. I know you went through the 1.38, whatever, but I'll say 1.4. I know he's going to be bringing back more because that's from his heart. He cares about the environment like we all do. Somebody like myself, about infrastructure. We can talk about sewering. We can talk about, it's not the sexiest topic, but it's the most important topic, especially look at our town, Smithtown. We are finally coming into the 21st century from great leaders like our Supervisor Wareheim and all of our council people. A round of applause to them to make sure they brought us into the 21st century. First, sewering, guess what? To put a bean on Lake Avenue in St. James, going to them and saying this is needed. You know what? I call everybody here with all elected officials from the county, from the township, from the federal and the state. We are elected officials. We are not politicians because politicians, sorry, give a lot of wind. Elected officials get the job done, just like our congressman, just like all of our county, just like our township. And I'm very, very proud to be here. But one thing that's so important about the drainage, we can talk about the runoff and everything like that, how important that is, just like what the supervisor said. The drainage that's going to be running into the Nesquag River. We do not need that freshwater and saltwater intrusion. That's a problem. We need to make sure that we're replenishing our aquifer. That's so, so important. We are all here to keep our environment clean. And one thing that's very, very important to me, somebody that's sat in Suffolk County Water Authority Board for 7 years to make sure that we have the cleanest, purest water for generations to come. And this is a project that's going to make sure that this can happen. So again, to our congressman, I thank you so, so much for bringing home. Guess what? And I was going to say that because it's right here in my speech. As Supervisor Wareheim says, show us the money, bring the bacon home, and we know that you're always there for us. I appreciate you very much. Keep up the great job. 2 years. 2 years. So look what this man has done. I appreciate you very much. Guess what? God bless everybody here. God bless especially our environment, and God bless the United States of America. Thank you so much.
Smithtown is blessed to have 2 awesome elected officials representing it in Albany. A true fighter for decades here in Smithtown, who's awesome on policy, awesome on funding. Recently brought home $200,000 to the town of Smithtown, ensuring that we fight the good fight in Albany. My good friend, Mike Fitzpatrick.
Thank you, Congressman, and we very much appreciate your efforts to bring funding home for our infrastructure projects. It has always been a collaborative effort between the town, the county, the state, and now the federal government to make these very necessary infrastructure improvements. Infrastructure is not sexy. It's not pretty. It's not beautiful. It's not something you can point at and say, look how attractive that project is. It's actually quite gritty, quite dirty, quite messy until it's all finished. And infrastructure is what makes everything else possible. So once this project is completed, the quality of life will continue to improve here in Smithtown and throughout Suffolk County, thanks to the efforts of our great Congressman Nick LaLota. Nick, thank you again.
Thanks, Mike. I appreciate it. This doesn't happen just by the elected officials. We're able to advocate properly, we think, for the town residents, but we hear often from key constituencies to ensure that we have our eyes on the ball, that we're leaning forward and into worthwhile projects. And the Chamber of Commerce here in the town of Smithtown has been doing that for quite some time. Barbara Franco, want to say a few words?
Today marks a very significant, important day for Smithtown. This project providing state-of-the-art parking for our local residents, small businesses, is monumental for our Smithtown area. This parking lot on the north side of Main Street takes Smithtown up another notch and accommodates our visitors and creates a walkable downtown business district. We thank Congressman LaLota and Town Supervisor Mr. Wareheim for their efforts and their hard work, and to make Smithtown downtown district that welcomes businesses, new families, restaurants, and gives another great reason to work, play, and visit and celebrate Smithtown. Thank you.
In a moment, we're going to open up for questions, but I do want to give one more shout out and thanks to the Highway and Parks Departments. You guys do an awesome job ensuring this town has such great facilities for its residents to use, and you're a key part of what we're trying to get done here. That said, who's got some questions?
I don't know who wants to take the question, but can somebody paint a picture of what it's like really when it rains and why it's so chronically a problem with flooding?
No,
Supervisor Wareheim's best for that.
Sure. So, as you know, these rainfalls have increased. They're no longer 1.5 inches rain, which is what these drainage structures were built for. They're 3 inches, sometimes 4 inches. I think we have 2 days or 3 days of it coming now. So the drainage structures are failing. A lot of the water, once this floods out these parking lots, it's pitched this way towards Main Street, and it winds up going into the back of these buildings. Not all of them, but a fair number of them, and this is gonna cure that problem.
With updated drainage.
That's correct.
Because we're seeing this in many downtowns.
Right.
As it just are antiquated, more rain and old systems.
And the remedy for it is just what we're going to do here. There are larger drainage structures than they were in the old days, and there are many more of them. All right? We just did some drainage work down in the back of Nappertandy's. We increased the drainage that existed there by 4 times. And that is calculated to handle these 3 or 4 inch rainstorms that are coming now.
And it's not because of any Nisqually River runoff. It's just the opposite. This rainwater is going towards the Nisqually River.
That's correct.
Okay. And
That's
you don't
correct.
want that because
Well, you have the road runoff. So you have all these vehicles. When you see these vehicles, it's the same thing on our main roads. With these vehicles, when they traverse over these roads, they do have an oil residue. Sometimes you can see it when it rains. That ultimately goes into the storm drains that are on the sides of the road, and ultimately it all winds up at the head of the Nisqually River here in Smithtown. Yes, sir.
Where is the effluent being treated in that case? I know Executive Romaines made a big point of tertiary sewer systems that take road runoff and then go to like a treatment plant or something to treat the effluent. Where is the final destination on the?
For road runoff?
Yeah.
Well, that would be up to the state. I would ask. Go ahead.
Just to give a heads up with somebody like that, especially somebody that's sat on Suffolk County Water Authority. Now, these are the catch basins. This is going to be going into precast, which will be going down into our aquifer. So then it's treated. Suffolk County Water Authority is one thing being on the Water Authority. $1.5 million each well with an ALP system that takes out all the contaminants, the PFASs, the 1,4-dioxins, everything like that. We are ahead of the curve. Suffolk County Water Authority, one of the best, the largest water supplier in the nation, by the way. And we're ahead of the curve. Anybody needs to go to the Hop Hog Education Center to go see how that all works. I really recommend everybody to do that. And one thing I'd like to say is also with the trades, I know Congressman was going to say this, being a tradesman, a labor leader, very, very important, the jobs that this is going to be creating. And I know the Congressman is going to mention that right now.
And just one more follow-up. When will ground break on this project? Do we know?
As soon as the check clears.
On the money, this has been approved by Congress, signed into law in 2023. It's now at the agency, the EPA, who will release the money imminently.
Right.
And on what my good friend Mario Matera said, highly skilled local union labor will build out these projects as they've done before to a high quality that residents can trust and rely upon for generations to come.
Are there other communities in the district that need the same thing?
Yes, and we were able to. I represent 8 districts, 8 towns throughout Suffolk County, and we were able to get individual funding for different towns. I can't tell you exactly how much because he'll hit me up for more if I say exactly more. But no, we were able to distribute funds throughout Suffolk County to ensure we are dealing with infrastructure and water quality issues. And we're going to do a series of press conferences like this over the next few weeks to ensure the public is aware that we're all rowing in the right direction. But 1.4 is about one of the bigger ones. Awesome. Thank you so much. Appreciate everybody's attention and dedication. We're going to do a picture with the check.